All right. Bonjour, J.MAKers. Thanks so much for being here today. We are going to Provence. We're going to talk all about Calen Retreat. I'm so excited. This is one of our newest partners, and I'm really pleased to do a deep dive into this beautiful property and the area as well. So without further ado, let's kind of get the ball rolling. Actually, couple reminders. If you have any questions, we'll address those at the end. So feel free during your time to put them in the chat box or in the Q&A box. And then you know who to reach out to, of course. If there are any other questions about this particular partner or any of our partners, you can always reach out to hi@jmak.com and we'll get you to the right place. So, okay, now without further ado, Aurora, if you'd like to get us going. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for all of you to be here and listening to Calen's stories. Also, sorry for my French accent. My English is not perfect. I hope you will all understand. So first of all, I would like to make a short introduction about what is Cotignac and where is Cotignac. So just behind me, you can have a little pictures of the village. I'm going to share my screen and show you where we are located. Up. Up. Meg, if you can tell me if you can see the map.
Yes.
Yes.
We're looking, yeah, pull up the map again because we're looking at the courtyard picture. Yeah, there we are.
No.
Perfect.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So this is the map of a part of Provence. Provence is a really big region, so a lot of choice and beautiful offers, to be honest. And Cotignac, it's a really small village right in the middle of Provence. It's in the countryside and it's in the middle of both Nice Airport and Marseille Airport. So it's an hour and 15-minute drive. And just here you have Aix-en-Provence City. You will find the TGV station, and it's an hour drive from Cotignac. So it's also an hour drive from the coast if you want to go to the sea for the day, and it's an hour drive from the famous Gorge du Verdon. This is the biggest canyon of Europe. You can have electric boat for renting for the day. You can paddle. You can also do a lot of water sport. In fact, that's a beautiful lake with clear blue water. It's amazing. So this is also an hour drive. So we are right in the middle of all that interesting points. And Cotignac is a small village of 2,500 inhabitants. So I'm gonna zoom. How can I? Yep. So yes, this is a pretty Cotignac. So the village is the center of the village is here, and Calen is right here. We have a second hotel just in front, Hotel La Falaise. It's a 3-star hotel, and Calen is on a 5-star level. And we are right in the middle. So meaning that when you arrive at the resort, you just have everything walking distance, which is really convenient. I'm going to show you now a map of the resort. Can you see the resort map, Meg? Oh, you are still... Yes, you are not in the
Yes.
in the village. Okay.
No.
So here, if you can see my arrow, we are on the main square of the village. And this is the lobby, the reception, and also a library of the resort. And then on the back, you will find 3 hectares of land right in the middle of the village. So you are in a bubble of nature, and you have access to all the restaurants, shops, and touristic activity of the village by walk. Something really important is the story of this hotel. The story starts in the 70s. It was an hotel, before it was a holiday house owned by a family. And a lady called Huguette decided to buy the place and transform it into a hotel and restaurant. So this was in 72. She ran the hotel for 30 years. and then she closed in the late 90s. So the hotel was closed for 30 years, and we just reopened it, in fact. So we had 5 years of renovation, refurbishment, construction, and we offer now an extended offer. The new owner is from Canada, from Vancouver, and it's the first time he's creating an hotel. So it's somebody who makes his business in international shipping, and he has his own vision about tourism and hospitality. So he created a place with all the thing he was missing when he was traveling. So the idea is here to think about luxury in another way, in the way of having space, having time, being able to enjoying nature, and reconnect to yourself, nature, and family. Um, I think, of course, it's an important trend now, but when he thought about it, it was already 10 years ago. So now we are ready to welcome people from all over the world. We opened the first room in 2021, and last June we opened the last part. It was the historical building. At the beginning, the hotel was just the point number one, and it was the last pieces we reopened because it was a lot of construction and renovation on it. So on this land, this big land, you can find two private parkings. You can find a green Michelin star restaurant right in the middle. You can find a bistro with 100 seats, open 7 days a week, lunch and dinner. You can find here a pastis bar. Pastis is a famous local drink. We have a collection of 80 different pastis. Just next door, you will find a brew pub. We do our own beer, sorry, and we do a lot of concerts all year long. We are open all year long, both hotel, restaurant, and bars. Here, you will find Miko Hamlet. Miko Hamlet is it's dedicated to longer stays. It's a kind of family house. You will find a big common area with billiard, fire pit for if you send guests in winter. You will find also a big fridge with self-service wine. You just have to note on a piece of paper what you decided to drink. Um, Also here we have the library with English and French books. You will find three pools. One is for adult only, and these two are for families. You will find the lavender field blooming in June and July. Here are all the kitchen gardens used for the restaurant Jardin Secret. Here you will find the tennis courts. Really soon we will have a fitness zone here. We'll be ready for spring, late spring. Um, and also we have here an art center with 3 big exhibits per year. So it means that on the resort already people have two offer for restaurant, two offer for bars, and a lot of sports activity. And then if they need more, they can just go into the village. Something really important also is that we wanted to bring back culture, Provençal culture, into the life of the tourist. And so we offer an agenda really dynamic of workshops all year long, depending of the season. So in summer, you can learn how to do a lavender spindle. Your guests will go directly to the lavender field and learn how to create their own lavender spindle. In winter, they can go to a producer of truffle and learn how to hunt the truffle. Then they can come back to the hotel and have a cooking class with our chef, for example. Right now, you can also sculpt the wood. You can learn how to do your own basketry. You can learn how to draw. You can learn much more, do clay modeling too. We have a really big and dynamic agenda. Also, something important is not just about the resort. There is also about the village. I'm going to show you some pictures of Cotignac. You will see the ambience of the village. Can you see the picture?
Yep.
Yes, super. So this is Cotignac. It's a really traditional and picturesque Provençal village. Uh, you can see with a lot of colorful facades. And this is the famous cliff. Important to note that Cotignac was rewarded as most beautiful village of France 2 years ago. So we are in a small club of Gordes, Les Baux-de-Provence, Aise, all these really pretty villages. And we are the little new one. Cotignac is so famous for this cliff. It's a cliff of 80 meters high on 400 meters long. And you can visit the cliff. There is a little hike, as you can see. And this is one of the view from the room. This is our honeymoon room with an incredible view on the cliff. So this cliff is a kind of protector for the village, I will say. We have a lot of artists who came by accident in the village and never left because you can see there is a specific soul. Also in the village, there is a big spiritual aspect. We are the second destination after Lourdes about spiritual tourism because we have the apparition of the Holy Family. So it's unique in the world, or maybe we are two locations in the world to have the apparition of the Holy Family. So we have two sanctuaries in Cotignac, Notre-Dame de Grâce and Saint-Joseph. And there is a lot of, how to say, people coming, hoping, having children, for example. And that's why we had in the 16th century, the King Louis XIV, who came to Cotignac with his mother Anne d'Autriche to thank about his birth. So there is a big story about this apparition, the touristic aspects about this amazing cliff and the surroundings in Cotignac. There is also a big aspect about sports and external activities. It's not a good word in English, sorry. But you will find a lot of activities about water because we are located in the region called Green Provence, meaning that there is a lot of lakes, rivers, waterfalls. I'm going to show you a small video. Can you see it? It's a waterfall.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at that
You,
water.
So this is a 40 meters waterfall. It's a huge one. It's 10-minute drive from the resort. That's a really nice activity to go by bike, electric bike for the day, have a picnic and enjoying the view. If you see on the back of the video, you can see people, how little they are. Maybe I can show you better here. Well, we cannot see them right now. Sorry, but it's okay. I'm going to show you another video about the resort so you can better understand. Yes. So that's the village, and this is the historical building. And you can see how immersed we are and linked to the village. With the resort and the village are really linked together. You can see the cliff on the back, the three pools. So something also really interesting about Cotignac is that we are located right in the middle of a kind of gold triangle because our neighbor are George Lucas, who owned Castle Chateau Margui, George Clooney, who owned Chateau Miraval, and just the new ones just arriving a year ago is George Clooney, who is also at 30-minute drive. They are just around us, surrounding us, and they are bringing a lot of nice energy and nice people in Cotignac, of course. Something that I forget to tell you about the hotel is in the 70s when Huguette, she is still alive. She is now 92 years old, and she is really involved in the new version of Calen. And in the 70s to the 90s, she was welcoming a lot of famous people. We had the famous singer Joe Dassin. We had a lot of French stars, of course. But later in the 90s, she was welcoming Pink Floyd. You can meet in the village David Bowie having a coffee. Crazy people like that were coming to Cotignac. Because Chateau Miraval was owned by a famous pianist, jazz pianist, and he opened a recording studio. So all these famous people were coming for music and recording in the studios. But Chateau Miraval didn't have any rooms or restaurant. So Huguette was delivering food to Chateau Miraval, and she was hosting also some of the musicians. And then the studios closed in the late 90s as Calen closed. And they were both closed for 20 years. And 2 years ago, we had the beautiful surprise that the new owner, Brad Pitt, decided to reopen the studios. And now, since 2 years, we are still rewriting the story as before. And again, we are delivering food to Chateau Miraval, and they are sending us crazy peoples. So we are super happy about that. And again, it's the story is repeating 20 years later, and that's a beautiful story and adventure to live here. So I think I give you a lot of information right now about different stories, the village, the cliff, the resort, and what is Lucala. But also why this Canadian decided to invest in a so little village in Provence. Um, the owner, his name, sorry, is Graham. And when he was 20 years, he was doing his study in Denmark. And the family who was hosting him in Denmark, having a house in Cotignac, and they asked him to come and join for holidays in Cotignac. So he came here, and he fell in love with the village. When he was 25, he was able to come back and find a land to build a house, maybe later. And so he came and he saw that big ship at the entrance of the village dying slowly. And so in 2020, no, in 2019, he decided to bought the hotel and created a new version. Um, and the idea here is really to dynamize the economy of the village, but not just in summer, of course. That's why we decided to be open all year long. It's to give activity, economy of the village in the fall, in the spring, and in the winter, of course, because Provence is not just summer. There is a lot to do and discover all year long. The travel in winter, the weather is super good. We have a lot of products like olive oil, wine, sorry, quince. We have saffron. We have mimosa in the flower mimosa in February. We do our own beer with mimosa. Enfin, we have a lot to offer and a lot of sport because weather is really nice. So I hope people will change their mind, and we are working a lot about that. And that's why we decided to be open 365 days a week, year, sorry. So yes, Meg, maybe I can show more pictures about the different places that we have on spot, or I can answer question. What do you
Yeah.
prefer?
Let's see maybe a couple more photos and we can kind of answer some of the questions as we go along, maybe.
Okay. So I'm going to show you a little pastis bar. Can you see the terrace?
Yeah, super cute.
Okay, so that's the place to be in the village. We have a charming terrace really above the main square, so people really like the place. And this is the collection of pastis we have. Also, we have an offer of cocktails. We have cigars on spot and really good spirits.
Beautiful.
So we just opened this address last June. Then I'm gonna show you the other bar. This is the brew pub La Tuffe. So we do also the local beer. That's a mix between a bar and a brewery. We have a big terrace with a lot of events during summer. We can host until 200 people. Musician a lot. And that's the beer with mimosa. We just
Yep.
launched it a month ago. Okay. Then I can show you the two restaurants. You will have Jardin Secrets. So this is the gastronomic restaurant with the green Michelin star. The chef was trained for 30 years by Alain Ducasse' team. He was managing Abbaye de la Selle, really close with a Michelin star. He was working in Monaco, in Hermitage restaurant. So he had a really big CV. So this restaurant is a whole house of 200 years old, and we kept the house as it was. So it's private room in winter with fire pit, and in summer we have a really charming terrace under the olive grove. We can have short groups and little groups, family groups, and then it's a really romantic and yeah, romantic scenic, I will say, intimist. Then we just opened, so this restaurant was open 3 years ago, but this one was open just last June. So this is the bistro with a food with international inspiration. We do some event on special type of cuisine. We do the Sunday evening about Italy. We do another Sunday evening with English meat, English roast beef. We do the brunch every Sunday for lunch. This is the indoor part. So really colorful, really bright. And a lot of traditional French food too. Specialized about fire cooking, we also have matured meat. And this is our chef, Fabien. And then I'm gonna show you pictures of the resorts so you can see the ambience on spot. We have so the lavender field. Here it's the olive grove where we do some classic music concert. We do also some wedding ceremonies. This is when you walk around in the resort, a lot of nature everywhere. One of the swimming pool with the jacuzzi at the end. The 3 swimming pools are heated. One of the workshop about lavender spindle. The honeymoon room with the view on the cliff on the back. This is the bookstore that we have. The famous Game of Provence pétanque. The breakfast, it's a buffet, and you can have the breakfast on the terrace with the view on the village. This is the family pool. It's a 20 centimeters high pool, so no problem for the kids, with a little waterfall, as you can see. The tennis courts. And yes, all the surroundings with the really direct access to the village. And also we do 2 yoga retreats and Ayurvedic retreats per year. Some pictures about the room, important. So we try to keep the ambience about the old buildings. So you can see a lot of wood, stone, and tiles. On the new building, we have some new building. It's a bit more modern, as you can see on this one. a lot of beautiful views. I think we have on the 10 categories, we have 8 categories with terraces. Just the first prices don't have terraces, but you have a so big land around that you can really enjoy easily the nature. We have
Do you
big
want to
suites.
do
Yes.
you want to I was going to say touch on like with those like traveling with families, how you kind of work that in as far as like hit families with young children versus a little bit older, things like
Hmm.
that. I mean, it's as you said, there are quite a lot of categories for such a small property. So you make
Yeah.
it work. How?
Yes. So yeah, for families, we really have a beautiful offer. We have different suites. Some of them are in the suite, two bedroom in the suite with private bathroom for each room. We have another suite for 6 people. So 3 bathroom, 3 bedroom in the suite. Um, we also have a package with included the extra bed for the kids, included a teepee with some games in the room. Also, we are offering a treasure hunt into the resort in the 3 hectare of land. It's really well adapted to families all age because they will learn about Provence, they will learn about nature, but it's really accessible and they will visit all the resorts. So it's 1 hour walk in the resort and discovering a lot of nice information. We have kids menu in each restaurant. The walk into the cliff is really accessible for families too. And then we have, of course, the family pool. So if you have children above 14 years old, they can go with the adult-only pool. There is no problem. But then for families, it's the kids area. So there is offer for everybody. And into the suite, you have each time a kitchen, so you can also decide to just stay at home and having a quiet evening in your room with big living room to have a place to eat, also on the terraces if you need. And then you can enjoy the kids menu in the restaurant or going into the village. There is a lot of really traditional and easygoing restaurant or some more gastronomic. There is an offer for everybody.
Perfect.
Something also it's about out of Cotignac at less than an hour drive for kids. You will find some prehistoric museum, for example, a lot of water sports. So you can go canoe, you can rent the boat, you can do pedalo when you
Mm-hmm.
paddle. And then much more. There is I have a page on the website, the concierge page with what you can find all around at less than an hour drive. There is a lot to discover. And for adults, there is a lot about art too, with a lot of museum and vineyards with a walk into art walks, in fact.
Perfect.
So yeah, I can show a lot of pictures, but maybe that's already a lot.
That's good. Yeah, the website is great too. Lou Calen, the concierge guide. I'll share it here with everyone too, just so they can see it. Um, Perfect. I know there was a question a little further up regarding the tennis court surface. It looked like grass to me. Is that what it
Uh,
is?
it it's I don't know what to say in English. It's a fake grass.
Yep. Turf,
Yeah.
like a turf. Yep. Court.
Yeah.
Perfect. What other questions do we have? Okay, I have one. Which I'm going to ask about length of stay. What do you recommend? I mean, there's so much to do in the area. For the US traveler, kind of thinking of them, I'll show my face too, just so I'm talking to you. For the US traveler, do you recommend, kind of like a 4 night stay at minimum 3 nights? Does it depend on the season? What do you typically prefer?
Um, with how to say? We have a minimum stay of 2 nights on the hotel part, really close from the village, and on Miko Hamlet, if you remember, it was on the north side of the resort. We have a minimum stay of 4 nights. What I will personally recommend it's minimum 3 nights in Cotignac, because you will have one day you just want to explore the village, relax at the pool, and you need a full day. Also, we have the Tuesday market right on the main square, so this is really you cannot miss it. It's a big market with local product, local art, and everything. Um, so one day it's just enjoying the place, and the other 1 or 2 days it's about what you prefer. If you want to go to Gorge du Verdon with the lake, the canyon, this is a full day activity. If you want to discover Valensole, it's the place where you can find a huge field of lavender. That's a day also of discovery. If you want to go to Commanderie de Pérasol, it's a mix between art and wine, so you can also spend the day. So really depending if you prefer culture, there is a big abbey with the guides who are singers. So that's a wow day also, and you will both learn and feeling beautiful energy, atmosphere, stories. So even 7 day, you won't be bored. I have a different program for every day, and each day will be a wow day. But minimum for me will be 3 nights.
Perfect. And then we have a clarifying question. One of our attendees is asked about so is the hotel a village within the village of Contignac? So can visitors to the town also come to the hotel easily, or is the hotel and its village only for guests?
If you are staying into Miko Hamlet, it's a private part of the resort. If you are staying on the part close to the village, the access to the room are really private, also to the breakfast area. But then you will meet people coming into the restaurants. So the two restaurants are accessible for external guests. So some part will be mixed, some other really private. And people from the hotel and exterior can meet also into the workshops. So you can meet locals doing your own basket. Or that's the moment you can mix the local workshops and restaurants.
So they're not going to be in the swimming pool or playing on the tennis court.
Tennis court, no. Swimming pool, we have an offer for local, but we welcome a maximum of 2 couples per day. So it's never you never feel like overwhelmed or anything.
Great. It's kind of nice. I love that thought too, to have some kind of locals and some vibrancy mixed in with the hotel guests as well. It kind of makes it interesting. When I travel with my husband, I love him dearly, but sometimes you get a little bored. So it's nice to have others to kind of mix in and keep it fun. And
But
anyway, it's kind of gross.
that's exactly the point why Graham, the owner, was opening at the first place he opened was the brew pub, because he wanted a place that people can meet. So that's a place where you can find all age, all nationalities. In Cotignac, there is a lot of English speaker all year long, because we have 30% of the inhabitants who are foreigners. And they are here all year long. They are really asking for activities, and they are bringing beautiful energy to the village. So for foreigners, it's really easy to feel comfortable in the village and meet with people. They are really welcoming.
I love that. And so overall, would you say the feeling of the property is more family or more adult?
For now, I will say it's more adult. We have an offer for family, but they are not the ones who are coming the most.
Perfect. Does anyone else have any other questions regarding the Calen retreat? All right, this was a lot of information to digest, but don't worry.
Yes.
We will be in touch. We'll have some of the presentation sent. We'll keep a recording of this webinar on our YouTube channel too, so you can always revert back to it. And then the team will be in touch to send some awesome photos, send it out to your clients, give them that beautiful inspiration. I'm already dreaming of Provence. This is absolutely incredible and such a great welcoming to the property. So thank you very much.
Thank
Merci beaucoup.
you. Merci.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Merci.
Merci. Au revoir.
Bye.